Speaking of butter and bread, I'm gonna switch to this.
Are you going to Texas Roadhouse?
Nah. We should. I've actually never been there.
Me neither, but I heard the bread was good.
I haven't been
really
there.
good.
I haven't been there. I heard it's good. So this next topic is basically around this time of year, Christmas time is coming up. A lot of people start kind of reevaluating their finances and kind of looking at their job, what they have, and could they get more to kind of help with the lift of Christmas season and all the expenses that come with that. So I really just wanted to kind of use this opportunity and this platform to kind of hear you guys' thoughts for somebody who may be wondering, like, how do I have these conversations about getting more money? How do I show my worth, or how do I walk into this room with confidence and ask for that raise? Or how do I know when's the right time to ask for a raise? I know a lot of times they associate millennials with jumping too quick to want to get more money, but at the same time, like, there's a lot of people who are putting in work and who are getting degrees faster than the generation before us, and who are learning skills maybe faster than the generation before us. And we feel that, hey, like, just because like we have more like resources at our disposal than you all did, so we're learning these skills faster, and we feel that we should be paid appropriately. So I just kind of wanted to hear you guys' thoughts on like getting a raise, asking for a raise, and kind of like what tips you have to a person that's a little uncertain about that, because it can be a scary time for a lot of people.
It was nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
So what I'll say is, listen, man, you know your worth.
Right.
Like, know your worth. Better. I always take Kirk Cousins as an example. Like, Kirk Cousins is a football player. He used to be quarterback of the Redskins. He played well for the Redskins, and the Redskins offered him a shitty raise for his new contract. He said, no, I know I'm better than that, and he went and played even better the next year. Ended up leaving the Redskins for a bigger deal. My point is, when you know you're good, like, you bet on yourself and have confidence, because you don't have to wait for your job. Because if you wait, because I forgot where I read this from, but basically, if you stick in one company, the only way to get raises is to move companies, or move branches or whatever. If you stay at the same place over and over again, like, even if you get raises or like promotions, like
It still doesn't equate.
I'm about to say, like, you're like the financial gain you make is lessened.
Right.
To jump in salary, you have to move jobs, because I mean, you know, in the 80s, 90s, whatever, it was a different mindset for people in that time.
Right.
Like, and I don't even think it's loyalty, because in the day the companies really
They're not
the
loyal
companies
to
aren't
you.
loyal to you.
Right.
But back in the day, the mindset for workers was, you have to be loyal to your, because, you know, they picked you, so they know best, and they'll give you your raise when you want it. If you feel like, especially if you have the degrees to back it up,
Right.
because I mean, I still have my bachelor's, but I mean, when you add degrees, that adds $8,000 to $10,000 to your asking price. So if you keep back getting degrees, you need to, and you paid money to get the degrees,
Right.
you should
And
be
you're still
getting your
paying money for
return.
it.
You should get the return on investment on that investment.
Right.
That didn't make, that was complete
No, I get what
oxymoron,
you're
but
saying.
still.
I think that, to take your point from, you said that like back in the day, like from a loyalty standpoint, like I think that like companies, you know, like now you look at the modern tech age, like it's easier for them to find another candidate. Back then, it was tough to find somebody, so they had to be kind of loyal to you in a way. Like, you leave this company, literally they're gonna have your replacement probably in a week, probably less than that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Plus, the need was higher. Like,
Yeah.
they needed to provide for their families. They were just getting into the workforce. They needed that.
But I think my philosophy is, depending on what your corporation is, a lot of corporations sometimes have, or companies have a structure where every review period is where, you know, if you get like a meets or whatever it is, that's when it's time for a raise. Now, if you are to find yourself at a company that does not have that policy in, then that would be a good opportunity for you to discuss a raise for those out there. Like, if your yearly review, or if you have a mid-year review, and it is satisfactory or beyond satisfactory, that is a perfect opportunity for you to, one, go over with your manager and say, hey, like, thank you for the review. I put a lot of work into it. You know, hey, you know, I sat down, and obviously you should always come with a figure. Like, you should always come into consideration. You should never go in there and say, hey, like, I want to raise, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Don't let them give you the raise.
you don't let them get the raise, because then now, you know, and don't say, I need more money. Don't fall into the selfish pit. You go in there and talk about your worth, You talk about, hey, like, you know,
I did XYZ.
Right, you talk about what project I work.
I've added value to
Yeah.
this,
Right.
that.
And like if you have some, like say for example, you're in a position where you are like doing contracts, you're procuring more business.
Right.
Use that as like use those figures in your presentation. Like, hey, I brought in 10 new accounts this year with us. That's generated $1.5 million for our company.
Yep.
I'm just looking to increase my my salary
Right.
to XYZ. Because I think that I'm a valuable asset to this company.
Right.
And then, you go from there and you go from negotiation, whatever it may be. But I think that's how you should attack it and approach it.
Right. And just to build off that, I mean, I know from like personal experience, I mean, coming in, like when you wanted to leave from like an older job and just kind of get to another situation, kind of when the number is higher than what you're currently making, it might, like you might be tempted to just take that because the number is higher than what you're making. But at the same time, like it's important for you to do research for what people are making in that field, what people at the job are making. A lot of this information is public. I know for public sector, a lot of that, you can literally Google government salary. You can see every single
That's
person's
what I was about
salary
to say. That's
on
the-
there. I don't know if it's the same for private sector, but I'm assuming
no,
there's
it is.
somewhere you can find.
This is a market
That's
value.
exactly where I was gonna go.
Right.
With
It was
you.
like, hey,
do your
people in
research.
this,
Right.
this department. I mean, this job, or
This
career,
job,
right,
this,
and
this,
and this is the high end.
Hey, about to say,
It's the low
and you
median,
go in-
it's
Right.
the median salary.
You go in there and you say, all right, for my age, my
Right.
demographic, this amount of experience, this position, this is what the average is.
Mm-hmm.
I want
Right.
to be here.
Right.
I'm here right now. That's
Right.
not good enough. I'm doing, and like what Malik said, I've done XYZ in the past
Right.
6 months, past year. So
Yeah.
my thing, the only thing to consider, like I wouldn't consider it, like if you done all that, you deserve more money. It's
Right.
just the only thing I would make sure is that you're prepared for the added responsibility.
Yeah, that's something you gotta internally.
whatever. Yeah, that's the thing.
Because we
That's
can
what
sell all day. We can
Yeah.
sell and like, hey, we're ready for this. We
Then
did
you find
this, we did
yourself
that.
in a different role, and you find yourself in a different problem now. Like you got this raise, it's great, but now you living up to
you're
the
ready.
expectation that comes with more money, more
Yeah,
problems.
extra
I had that-
workload,
Trust me.
extra
I had that
responsibility.
exact same
Trust
when
me.
I moved jobs last year. That's what it was. Like it was a big salary jump, and I was like, oh, I got this. All right, cool. Because like basically, like what I told my boss in my last company, like I'm doing XYZ. Like my supervisor keeps changing. I'm doing supervisor work. I'm leading meetings.
Right.
I'm leading all these reviews. And I'm looking around. I got this offer. Cool. You got the offer, then you realize, oh wow, this new company, I'm making more money. Well, I'm making more money for a reason. I'm expecting to make more.
Right, you should.
Right, yeah. So like, am I ready to handle it? And that's something I struggle with for a while. I think I'm good now, but I mean, just like if you can handle that, you say, you know what, I got all that. That's no problem. That's easy money. And you're good.
Yeah.
Go and do it.
It's better than when you ask for that raise, you kind of step into that role. Like you step into it like, hey, like I've been doing this, you know what I'm saying? And this raise only enhanced and you said it internally, but this raise is only enhancing my lifestyle, my needs for my family. But I have been doing this role for a while now, and I just want to be recognized for it and paid for it.
Right.
You don't want to find, again, like you guys saying, like find yourself in a position where you ask for more money and you've now been off more than you can chew.
Yeah.
And now you will find yourself, in a hole where you cannot
Ass out. I mean,
Yeah.
we're
right.
basically you have that money, but only for 3 months. After a while,
Yeah.
you get your ass
Snip.
sent out.
Right.
But I'm saying this is the time. Like your lifetime earning potential. Like this is the time of your
Yeah,
life
this is
where
where
you
you set it. This is
where
where
you
you
set
put the
it.
foundation.
So,
You set
it.
This is where you make the
Yeah.
move,
Yeah.
though. So
Yeah.
Because like you said, it's important to recognize, like especially if you're planning on staying in the same company, sometimes it's harder to rise up in the same company as opposed to going from job to
it
job.
is.
Yeah.
Salary wise, because a lot of like, and I know in the public sector, a
Some
lot of
people
them will
are
give you
entrenched.
like some bullshit
Some
like,
people are entrenched in
hey,
their
we
job.
can't give you more than 3% here. We can't give you more
I
than
mean,
this
and that's the
percent
thing.
here. Or
That's the
like,
difference between public and private sector.
That private, yeah,
Because
that's
public
public.
sector, like they got their money from the government. The government,
Right.
like this is your budget.
right.
Right.
Private
Private
is what it
sector,
is,
I'm
what
about
it
to
is.
say, based on sales, if you're
sometimes.
selling more, you can get more. So, but it is.
I mean, they all come with pros and cons.
Yeah,
Like,
and as an
public got
existing,
security.
because like as an existing employee, sometimes it's easy because I work in finance, and I mean I don't set budget, but I don't set salaries, but department heads can look. Oh, this person's been here for a while. I mean,
Right.
they're not going to work. You can just give them like the 0.5% raise,
Right,
whatever.
right. They're not gonna do it. Yeah.
But like I said, it's when you move to a new job because that job is they have a need,
Right.
so they're willing to pay more.
Yeah,
Like,
to do
we
whatever,
need
yeah.
somebody to do this position, and
Yeah, even to your point though, Aaron, like you said, like what I'm saying, like you look at like department heads will look at you know, like salaries for people, and they're like, that person's not gonna make a fuss about it. But then if
Right.
you are that person that you don't want to be the person that's shaking the table, but you are a person that's confident, and you've in the past asked for a raise. Now you're like, oh no, don't give John the 1.3. No, he's not gonna like that. Let's give him that 5%. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then you got some other people that who don't speak up and don't have confidence.
And that's a really important point, because one tip that I was going to give is a lot of jobs, they're going to offer you a lot lower than what they budgeted for.
It's
So
a business.
say they budgeted like $80,000 for a position, but they're going to say on the offer letter, we're giving $70,000 for this position. So it's up to you to always like ask for more than what you want to get.
Yeah, I mean, especially in the public sector, again, they have set budgets.
Right.
Really, they can't control. But
Right.
like anything that can save a couple dollars on their P&L.
Yeah, they're gonna look. They're gonna post
Something's
it
always
lower.
gonna go over. So they're like, all right, well, we're gonna take that 10 that we saved on that contract.
He ain't putting up no fuss. Okay,
Yeah,
we'll
so
give
we're gonna
him
say that
low,
10.
the
And
low
then now
end.
we done, next thing you know, we done saved 10 tens. We got $100,000 extra to go over budget on something.
So many jobs that have like a $30,000 buffet.
And
I
I
mean
think
buffer between like what they actually offer and what they have.
And I think this would be an interesting conversation we had, like people that were probably like our parents or somebody. 'Cause
Oh,
they
yeah.
probably would feel differently, but it's just like you got to look out for number one and your and
for
the family.
sure.
Where especially our age we're at now,
For sure.
you want to make sure you put yourself and your family in the best position to go forward.
Right.
And loyalty to a company, that's cool, because I
Right.
mean some companies reward you for loyalty and they'll take care of you, but like if you feel like you're stagnating, and that's how you make it. That's the millennial mindset, and that's why millennials get shit done. Like we have to be compensated because we have expenses that the previous generation didn't have. So
things are more expensive now.
go get your money.
Yeah.
Like in sports, I always side with athletes when it comes to money disputes. Always. I don't care if they're asking for ridiculous, like.
Right, because you know your value.
Exactly.
You're gonna
Exactly.
ask for your
Get
value.
your money.
That's all you can do. And worst they can say is no. And I think that's the most intimidating thing, is getting that out there, having that kind of conversation with your boss and having that dialogue. Worst thing they can say is no.
They can't fire you if you ask for money.
Right, no,
First off.
no.
So I mean,
No.
So it is what it is. And honestly, I feel like even if you're at a job you're comfortable with, you should always just be mindful of what the market and just look around what's available.
Keep
I
your
think
head
that
on
can't
swivel,
hurt.
man. Keep your
I
head
don't
on
think that
swivel.
can hurt, just to see what other opportunities are around. And,
Right.
Talk to people on LinkedIn. I mean, LinkedIn is such a great tool. That's how I found my last job. Just see what other jobs are in the area, what they're paying. Always just be aware of what the salary, what salaries people are getting in similar positions, and man, just go for it. Go for it.
I got it, man. That was a good talk. I mean, I think it is something that a lot of people, especially our age, kind of struggle with, especially coming out with degrees, and you're just so desperate looking for a job that you don't think to ask for, you don't think to look for what I should actually get paid for this or whatever. But I think it's important to keep that in mind. Know your worth, do your research, and also just walk in with confidence. You know what you've done, you know who you are, so walk in with that.
Embrace it. People talk shit about millennials, whatever. We're qualified. We're overqualified for a lot of these jobs.
We learn things a lot faster.
Especially in these government jobs, there are people, again, I don't work in public sector, but I know most of my family does, and they're all managers, but the people underneath them are people that have been in the same spot forever. They're literally in the same job for 30, 40
You
years.
ask them to do anything different, no. You say I can't use a typewriter? Yes.
We're more
That's
qualified.
why there's so many problems.
We're more qualified than these people, and we should be getting paid more than them. No offense to them, because again, that's just how the world works. Time over time,
and then generations
things change.
before,
People learn different.
Generations next to us will be like,
we be even faster.
I'm about to say, when we have Google implants in our brains, or we can do Excel spreadsheets like this,
Yeah,
and
by
we'll be
blinking,
like,
yeah.
what
They be
about
like,
my
y'all so
keyboard?
slow, yeah.
What about my keyboard?
You don't have a hologram keyboard, bro?
No, but I can do a VLOOKUP in the pivot table. No,
Right.
I don't know what that means. Yeah.
Yeah, this guy's doing the pivot
I
table.
said pivot table. Using Excel. Who uses computers anymore?
Get your money, man.
Get
Stack
that
your
money.
money now.
Know your worth, bro. Know your worth.
And add tax. That was they always say.
Oh yeah,
tax.
all that
Add
shit.
tax.
Yeah, buffer for the tax too. That's an important point.
I'm trying to tell you, 10K sounds good on paper, extra.
Tell you
but
taxes shit on
after
that
taxes come back, you gonna end up with 4?
Oh,
5?
shit, yeah. I mean,
Probably less
yeah.
than that.
Just-
I forgot, yeah.
You know, do your research. That's the important part.
I mean, my job gave me a bonus last year, and I was like, oh, yeah, I got a
this
bonus.
bonus
Then you
is-
actually get on your check,
Here
and
you go,
you're,
Uncle Sam.
and you're like,
$50 actually.
Great. Take all that shit.
like, yo, I was psyched. I was like, oh, damn. Well, thanks, Uncle Sam.
Yeah, Uncle Sam, you got a bonus. Uncle Sam, you got a bonus.
He gets a bonus every year.
Almost got half my fucking bonus.
Yep.
Bastard. Jesus.
Damn, that's smooth.